Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's your purchase and pricing email question line for purchasing this or any watch you see on my social media, our channel here, or our website. Reach out to me directly, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Today, we're discussing a watch launched in 2017 to celebrate the arrival of Grand Seiko as a more fully formed standalone brand within the Seiko Epson empire. The watch you see here is the Grand Seiko Spring Drive Automatic SBGA292, known as the Pink Snowflake. This is a timepiece that is 39 millimeters in red gold, not pink, not rose, red, and wonderfully wearable. As you can see, 12.7 millimeters thick by 46.6 millimeters lug to lug. The space between the lugs is 19 millimeters. Let's throw it on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist. This is a comfortable timepiece. It's also nicely contoured to match the curve of a wrist. Because of the narrow spacing across the wrist, and you can really see it well here, as well as the curve of the case, I can recommend it for a wrist as small as 13 centimeters circumference. It also sits low, and it's a dress watch, so that's a good thing. No problems with a dress shirt or tight sleeve. Taking a quick look at the hardware and the software, Grand Seiko straps tend to be magical things. Buttery smooth, in spite of being brand new. You expect worn leather to be this soft, but not new leather. I don't know how they do it. As you can see on the top, gloss, rectangular scale, large scale, alligator leather with a folded edge and a monotone stitch, a more natural calfskin on the bottom, a brand new Japanese-made factory strap. You can see that the buckle itself, this is usually the Curiosity with gold Grand Seiko buckles. They are the only part of the watch, the only major component that is not made in Japan, crafted in Italy. I won't tell. It's a beautifully made single fold piece that prevents you from dropping your gorgeous watch while donning or removing. The case is simple but strong. You can see there's a transitional slanted profile that acts sort of as a bevel running the flank of the case and lug to lug. You can also see the lug hoods are angled and satinated. There is a black polish on the case flank. This is the spinning tin plate Zaratsu finish of which you've heard. It's executed on a European-made Zalitz machine, but ironically, the foremost practitioners of this type of manual tin plate finish are the folks at Grand Seiko these days. By holding the case to be black polished directly against a spinning tin plate using eye, hand, and craft knowledge, this is a timepiece that is handmade inside and out. Keep that in mind if you're cross-comparing it against the likes of Vacheron, Lange, or Patek Philippe. This is technically impressive, and artisanally, it has sharp credentials. Now, the dial is what a snowflake is all about. This is not a nickname. This is a real name granted to the watch, dubbed by Grand Seiko's own designers in northern Japan, where the heaping snow creates the rusticated, ruffled look you see on this dial. No fewer than half a dozen steps are required to create the image you see here, so this watch, not nicknamed the Snowflake, but formally named the Snowflake by the very folks who created it. The dial is also hand-finished in as much as all of the rose gold hands, indices, and dial furniture are black polished using diamond-tipped milling tools. You can also see that the faceting is gem-like, creating a lustrous and ravishing twinkle in the light. So a watch that's hand-finished externally and internally, and it includes spring drive, not any spring drive, but a hot-rodded caliber 9R15. You see the rose gold medallion in the rotor. So whereas a standard spring drive is accurate to plus or minus 15 seconds a month, the 9R15 is accurate to plus or minus 10 seconds per month. Now you have a hacking or stop seconds function. You also have a quick set date mechanism that allows you to rapidly cycle the date. You have a power reserve indicator on the dial side for the 72-hour or 3-day power reserve. This 30 joule movement featuring a unidirectional governing wheel. And keep in mind what was necessary to create this technology, as the development for automatic spring drive stretched from 1977 to 2005. The unidirectional governing wheel creates an induced electrical current that wakes up a quartz oscillator that allows the watch to keep quartz time, but with mechanical soul, as all of the action, and you will note this is not a stepping hand, it's not a staggered hand, it doesn't tick, it is completely smooth, the only such system that can accomplish this, though Piaget has tried. I should also mention that because it uses all spring energy, there are no batteries, no capacitors, no stepper motors. All of the motion, all of the energy is derived from the mechanical spring. This movement is watchmaker assembled, watchmaker regulated, and when the time comes, it goes back to Japan to be watchmaker serviced, designed not just for the life of the owner, but the life of the watch. It is a true high horology movement. And remarkably, despite its dress watch credentials and appearance, this timepiece is 100 meters water resistant. So on a more moisture-tolerant strap, you could easily take this one surface swimming. An impressive suite of features from a timepiece that is a moment in time. The arrival of Grand Seiko on the international scene as a true standalone brand and one of the most desirable modern Grand Seiko dress watches. Own the pink snowflake. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com.